Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Today we are sitting as the Committee of Adjustment. I'd like to call this meeting to order at exactly 2 o'clock. We are present. We do have staff present as well as our Secretary, Treasurer, and our Planner, Jennifer Current. We do have quorum in that we have all committee members here. We only have one application today, so we shouldn't be too terribly long. Our first order of business is our land acknowledgement statement. The Township of Hamilton is situated within the traditional territory of the Mississauga, Anishinaabe, and Chippewa Nation, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nation. Our work on these lands respectively acknowledges their resilience and their long-lasting contributions to the area now known as the Township of Hamilton. Jennifer, if I could turn to you for the explanation of our process today.
Certainly, through you, Chairman Jibb. We have one application. It's a minor variance application that will be heard today, when I will give an overview of the application and the floor will be opened up to the public for comments, and we request that comments be made in this order. Those in support of the application first, those in opposition to the application, those seeking clarification, and then finally the applicant. When you address the committee, if you could please give your name and address for the record, that would be appreciated. And we only have one application today, so I won't say it. To you, Mr. Jibb, Chairman Jibb.
Thank you. Confirmation agenda. Prepared motion is that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on March 11th, 2025 be approved. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Mark, seconded by John. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof today? Seeing none, that will be recorded. Item 6 on our agenda, approval of the minutes of the previous meetings. Motion reads that the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meetings held on February 11th, 2025 be approved. Move in the seconder, please. Moved by Larry, seconded by Bruce. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. New business. Item 8 on our agenda. Minor variance. Brinklow. Application A01-2025. Jennifer, could I turn this over for your planning report, please?
Certainly, through you, Chairman Jibb. This is an application submitted by Harmony and Sean Brinklow for a parcel of land located in part of Lot 24, Concession 3. It's Part 1 of Registered Reference Plan 39R3749. And they're requesting a reduced front setback from the required 20 meters to 15 meters. The subject property is located on the north side of Dale Road, just west of the intersection of Burnham Street and Dale Road. And well, it's west and east of Williamson Road. They're applying to permit a reduced front setback to allow for the construction of a dwelling on that property. The property is vacant. The property is about a 0.5 hectare or a 1.24 hectare acre property, and it is located in an agricultural area of the municipality. Surrounding land uses consist of farm operations to the north and east, and there's a rural residential dwelling located immediately west of the subject property and a strip of 3 rural residential dwellings on the south side of Dale Road there. Bethesda United Church is located west of the subject property at the intersection of Williamson and Dale Roads. There are livestock barns. They were located at 7986 Dale Road and 8059 Dale Road, and a tributary of the Coburg Creek is located east of the subject property, and the lands adjacent to that watercourse are regulated by the Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority. The property is located in an agricultural area of the municipality. New lot creation is generally not permitted in the by the provincial planning statement. However, this is an existing lot of record, and development of existing lots of record is permitted in accordance with all the policies of the provincial planning statement, one of which is compliance with minimum distance separation guidelines. Two MDS calculations were prepared for each of the livestock barns located at 7968 Dale Road and 8054 Dale Road. And the proposed building is located outside of the required MDS setbacks for both of those MDS requirements. The water course that's located east of the subject property would be considered a natural heritage feature requiring protection under the PPS. However, the water course and the adjacent areas don't extend onto the subject property and pose no problem for the development of this property. The proposed variance will allow for the construction of a single detached dwelling on the property to take advantage on an angle because the applicants wish to take advantage of a view. And the application is consistent with the provincial planning statement. The property is not located on the Oak Ridges Moraine, so the Oak Ridges Moraine Conservation Plan doesn't apply. The Northumberland County official plan designates the property as agricultural areas, and development of existing lots of record is permitted by the policies in the county official plan. The Township of Hamilton official plan designates the property agriculture, and the policies do allow for development of existing lots of record and allow for variant, and the official plan does set out the requirements or the 4 tests for evaluating a minor variance. The 4 tests are the variance must be minor, the variance must be desirable for the appropriate development or use of the land, the variance must maintain the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, and the variance must maintain the general intent and purpose of the official plan. So while the applicant is applying for a 15-meter front setback instead of the normally required 20-meter setback, the actual setback of the proposed dwelling, I believe, is 18.58 meters or 62 meters at the closest point. So they applied for 15 meters, but they're actually only going to be set back 18.5-ish meters. So they won't be extending into or taking advantage of the full 5-meter variance that they have requested. So they've applied for the 15-meter setback instead of the normally required 20-meter setback. The proposed reduced setback will facilitate the construction of the dwelling at the angle desired by the applicants. And the proposed dwelling will still comply with the Northumberland County setback requirement of 30 meters from the center line of Dale Road. In this area, Dale Road is set back, the actual constructed portion of Dale Road is located towards the southern portion of the road allowance. So they can still meet their county setback requirement with the proposed variance. The existing dwelling to the immediate west of the subject property is located much closer to Dale Road than the proposed dwelling will be. So there should be no compatibility issues with respect to this. It's located quite far away from the existing dwelling and not within the sight lines of the existing dwelling. When we're considering whether a variance is minor or desirable, we generally focus on the impact. And as discussed, there's very little impact. There's no the only surrounding residential use is the one to the west, which is located much closer to the road than the proposed dwelling. And the proposed dwelling is located more than 45 meters from that property. Now we have to demonstrate that the variance is appropriate and maintains the intent of the official plan. The official plan allows for the construction of a single detached dwelling on an existing lot of record. We do have to comply with the MDS requirements, and the MDS calculations were prepared for both of the livestock barns, and the proposed dwelling is located outside of those MDS requirements. The variance must also maintain the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw. The subject property is zoned rural residential, which permits the construction of a single detached dwelling in accordance with the zone provisions. So this variance will reduce the front setback slightly, but the intent of the property is for it to be developed with a single detached dwelling. As I mentioned, the property is zoned rural residential in the township zoning bylaw, which requires a 20-meter setback, and they're requesting 15 meters. The application was circulated to a number of agencies, and this is a summary of the agency comments. GRCA, Ganaraska Region Conservation Authority, commented that the subject lands are not regulated by the authority. And furthermore, GRCA has no additional concerns regarding the minor variance application. So they had no objection. Northumberland County had no concerns. They did note that the proposed dwelling is located outside of the setback requirement for the county. Initially, the site plan was submitted that showed that the septic system was located within the county setback area. A subsequent revised drawing was submitted illustrating that the septic system will be located outside of the setback. The Hamilton Township Building Department, Fire Department, and Public Works Department all had no comments or concerns with respect to this application. Public notice was circulated to all landowners within 60 meters of the property on February 25th, and a sign was posted on that same day. No public comments have been received to date. I do note that we have one area resident in the audience today. So the recommendation is that the application be approved, that the variance is minor. There will be minimal impact on adjacent properties. The 15-meter setback is larger than that of the adjacent dwelling, which is located west of the subject property. The variance is desirable and appropriate. The property is zoned rural residential, which permits the construction of a single detached dwelling. The variance maintains the general intent of the Hamilton Township official plan, which permits development on existing lots of record. And that it has been demonstrated that the proposed variance will comply with the minimum distance separation requirements. And the general intent of the Township of Hamilton zoning bylaw has been maintained. The requested variance is minor and will facilitate the construction of a single detached dwelling on an existing lot of record with an appropriate setback for the area.
Thank you, Jennifer. We will turn to the audience. We acknowledge that the applicants are with us today, and we'll have an opportunity to speak in a few moments if they so wish, or maybe just answer questions if the committee have any. Firstly, we'll ask the audience, is there anyone here in opposition to the application? Seeing none? We have to be of age to have that qualified. Is there anyone here seeking clarification on the application? Is there anyone here in the audience in support of the application above and beyond the applicant? Mr. Davison, would you please come to the microphone, identify yourself and your address for the record? Simply because some of us know you doesn't necessarily mean that everyone does.
Okay, 8054, Cameron Davidson, 8054 Dale Road. And I wish to speak in support of the application. It looks to me as though everything is in order as far as all the logistics and the regulations go. And I think it was important that it was noted that there is a house very close by. It was much closer to the Dale Road. While that was built long before all these regulations came in, I too have a situation where my house would be much closer to the Dale Road than the existing application for this. So I am in complete support of it. On a personal level, they have been great neighbors before. I look forward to them being excellent neighbors in the future. So I'm in fully support of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. Is there anyone else in support of the application? I'll turn to the applicant. Would the applicant like to speak to this application, or certainly we can have you answer questions if the committee have any? Okay, thank you. Committee members, do we have any questions? Okay, I'll read the motion. That application A01-25 by Harmony and Sean Brinklow for a property legally described as part lot 24, concession 3, part 1 on 39R 3749 be approved, permitting a reduced front setback of 15 meters. Moved by John, seconded by Mark. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Reasons.
Are the reasons that are set forth in the planning analysis in the planning report?
Yes, that's correct. The minor variance meets all 4 tests.
Okay,
It's minor, it's desirable, meets the general intent of the Hamilton Township official plan, and also the intent of the zoning bylaw 2001-58.
Add that the only person in the audience that spoke on the application was very in favor of the application.
Any further comments? I'll just provide a little history. This lot was created as a retirement lot. And if it had been built upon at the time that it was created, the front yard setback would have been 35 feet. All those in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you. We're at the adjournment part. Motion to adjourn. The Committee of Adjustment meeting held on March 11th, 2025 be adjourned at 2:16 p.m. Moved by Mark, seconded by Larry. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you.